relevance. It's a play that discusses class a lot, and how we deal with the hands that are dealt with us, in terms of where we're born, and the neighborhoods we're born in. And this is about South Boston, which is a working class neighborhood in Boston, pretty well known area, and a character who's really um, uh, had a rough life, and that has really just sort of been, much of her life has been driven by happenstance. Just, yeah. So Mike got out. Mike was able to get out of Southie, and he had a relatively stable family that supported him. And David Lindsay-Abaire is similar to his experience, because he ended up going to a very exclusive boarding school, really smart, and that's sort of what pulled him out of that neighborhood. And the character of Mike is the same thing. He went away, went to a good college, went to med school, and he never looked back. That's a big part of the story. He looked forward, and even though Southie is such a tight community, he severed all that. And he when he talks about his background, he talks about his frat buddies in college, and he ended up being a very successful doctor, and was in DC, and was really in a really different world. And and the point of the play is that many of these things that led him to where he is right now was just a matter of dumb luck. There are moments in the play that are described when he was young that could have changed his life forever. That could have sent him on a different path. And that's a major theme of the play. It's very much about what Margie's story is. Things happen to her that put her in a place that she has existed in since she was a young adult. So it's this kind of tension between choices and between happenstance, and that's what defines our lives. Yeah, you use the term. It's a very universal story. I think we'll all identify with this. It's also looking back, which we all do. Looking back at choices you made when you were younger, that ended up defining your life in some way. So I think it's really gonna connect to our audience, and it's this play. It's a full meal play. I mean, it's just it is so fascinating to see these characters who are also just like the repartee. They're very quick-witted and really wonderful character types, especially in the first act. And then the second act is this very formidable, like long, what ends up being a confrontation scene between Margie and Mike, where you see their paths kind of going at each other. And the challenge of this play is that there's 5 locations, and I'm standing in front of the stage right now, and the stage is small, and we have very little wing space, so we can't roll sets on and off. So we came up with the idea in the first act, where there are 4 locations, that we would just reveal them. They would be seen. We're not going to try to hide anything from the audience. So they sort of see Margie's journey through each little location. She literally starts the play here in an alleyway. Moves through her apartment, then to Mike's office, and then to a bingo hall, which we kind of have as part of the house. So I think that sort of metaphor of her journey, going from this way to that way, will kind of tie the set together in a way, because it is 2 very disparate locations. And then you can sort of see the beginnings of the set here. He's tying it all together, unifying it with this brick, with this sort of old turn of the century architecture that exists in Boston, which is an older Northeast city.